Hi there, everybody. This is Kim Hooson with Girl Scouts of Silver Sage doing a just-in-time training for scheduling key booths. I want to start out by apologizing with my audio is weird. I've tried recording this now, and I keep having audio problems. So hopefully this one works out okay. So there are two kinds of cookie booths that Smart Cookies allows for. There are lottery and first come, first serve. And our council, all of our cookie booths are first come, first serve booths. And throughout the rest of the presentation and probably in Smart Cookies itself, you will see FCFS as that abbreviation. All right, so when we go to schedule a booth, we're first going to log into ABC Smart Cookies, click on the Booths tab in the Schedule Booths. We're going to find our desired location, either using the search feature or some of the filters. We'll select our desired date and time, and then see a couple slides on viewing our reservations and or deleting booths off of my reservation screen. And then once all of that is done, Smart Cookies will actually take all of this booth information and send it to GSUSA's National Cookie Finder so that your customers can find key booths in their area. So once you've logged in to Smart Cookies, and if you still have not logged into Smart Cookies, remember there's a handful of volunteers who still have pending registrations. Do a search through your email for ABC Smart Cookies or just Smart Cookies, and you should be able to find that email, whether it went in your spam or your junk folder or the promotions folder. You should be able to pull it up with the search. If for whatever reason you cannot find your registration email, please reach out to customer care and we can try sending it to you again. All right, so for scheduling a booth, you're going to hover over the booth tab and click on schedule booths, which they have highlighted here in yellow. Once we get to that, you will see schedule booths up on there. And then we do 3 rounds of booth selection. So you can use the blue arrow over here to see what the scheduled times are, when that opens, when it closes, how many premium reservations you can have, and how many total reservations. We have talked about the potential of adding premium booths. They would most likely be Walmart's, since Walmart's, we all know, are usually cream of the crop. And in some areas in the Treasure Valley where we have multiple Walmarts in a town, they tend to get picked over pretty fast. However, we do have the stipulation in our booth rounds, like for the first one, where we pick 2 booths. They have to have 2 different store names. So you could pick one Walmart, and then your next pick would have to be like an Albertsons or Fred Meyer or Ridley's. Or you could skip your Walmart entirely and pick 2 stores with 2 different names. So you can pick your Albertsons and your Fred Meyer or what have you. So, however, we have not officially decided if we are going to mark anything as premium. That will be announced prior to January 19th when we do our first round of booths. Probably via the FAQ page that we have. About reading it. So our next slide, we've got the bottom half of that screen. You've got the same powers that the first come, first served information. And then you'll see your troop information and your primary troop contact. Then down here, we've got our search bar, filters, and then under where it says lottery, FCFS, and premium, we have all of our booth listings. And so those little dots up in the top legend, that will be what the color is next to the booth in order to figure out what kind of booth it is. They do go in alphabetical order. So unless, we end up with a booth location that starts with numbers, the first thing probably up there should be in Albertsons. Unless we have, some A's that come before AL, but again, alphabetical. So once we click on our store location that we want for our Pitney booth, we'll be taken to a calendar page. From the calendar page, any available dates are going to be highlighted blue. And highlighted just meaning that the text will be blue. And if you know that there should be a booth on a certain date, so say maybe Friday the 18th should have had it, the Pitney booth had it, but it is grayed out. That just means that all of the available time slots on that date have already been selected. So therefore the date is grayed out and it's no longer able to be picked. So here we've got the very unrealistic cookie time frame of August. So they've highlighted August 25th. And then here in number 2, you have the different times that are available at that booth. There might be 4, there may be more than that, just kind of depends on the time frame that each of the booth has. So this council, they do time slots of 1 hour. In our council, the majority of our booths have a 3-hour time frame. However, depending on the open hours of the location or sometimes it is service unit specific or when a troop, puts in for a troop secured booth and they, put in their time frames for that, it ends up being a little bit different than 3 hours. So sometimes we might see a booth that is 2 hours, or 2.5 hours, or 4 hours. Again, just depends on how the hours for the store end up mapping out. All right. The next page that the slideshow is going to show us is the reservations page. So again, under the booth tab, you go to your buy reservations. Then you will see on the right where there's the 3 dots. You may not see the 3 dots initially when you go into your My Reservations page. And it won't show me this because it's a PowerPoint, but if you kind of hover down right below the last booth that is available, a gray bar should show up. That is a slider. And if you go all the way to the right, you will see those 3 dots. They will show up. You can also zoom out in your web browser and it'll make everything smaller, but you will find those 3 dots. It's usually what I end up doing. So the 3 dots will give you 3 options. It'll give you booth details, your smart booth divider, and remove the reservation. When you do click on remove reservation, it will give you a confirmation message to either delete forever or go back. Once a booth has been deleted from your reservations, it can't be retrieved. Like there's nothing I can do, there's nothing ABC can do in order to get that back into your troop. You would have to go back to the reservations or the booth selection and reserve the booth all over again. Reservations page, you will see all of the booths that you have reserved. So you might have some of our council first come first served booths. You might have some troop secured booths. All of them will show in your My Reservation page. And after the slideshow here is done, I will go into Smart Cookies and show an example of going through the steps to reserve a booth. I just can't reserve it since our scheduled time slot is available. Additionally, when a booth is reserved, the primary troop contact does get an email saying a booth has been reserved. It is at this location on this date at this time. And that primary contact is whoever is listed up here in the blue bar where it says the troop number. This troop's person is a volunteer, and it would get sent to her email right here. So if you have a assistant cookie manager or an additional troop leader who has access to your smart cookies, that the information on the troop, the reservations, will go to the primary troop cookie manager. All right, so let's do a little walkthrough on this. We are going to sign in to smart cookies, and I am going to choose my troop. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to click on schedule booth under the booth tab. Here at the top, see it says that our booth selection is closed. So I will not be able to actually reserve a booth, but we can walk through the steps. So our first round of booths starts on January 19th at 7 p.m. It closes on January 22nd at 6 p.m. I can reserve a total of 1 premium location and a total of 2 reservations. If we choose to make Walmart's premium locations, it just means you can reserve only 1 Walmart during this booth selection period, and a total of 2 reservations during this period. Then in the second reservation, it starts on January 22nd at 7 p.m. It will go through January 25th at 6 p.m. You can have 2 premium reservations and 4 total reservations. These, while in your total reserved booths, will be cumulative. During those timeframes, you could only select that many reservations. So if you skip this first reservation section and you don't do those 2 reservations, in the second time frame, you only get 4 reservations. You don't get 6. They're not, you can't add them together. It is, you can pick 2 prior to 6 p.m. on the 22nd, and once 7 o'clock hits, you can get 4 more. You can't not have those first 2 and pick these 6 between the 22nd and the 25th. So highly recommend making sure you select booths in both the first round and the second round. If you are in an area where booths are a premium. So some of our friends out in American Falls or Salmon or Ketchum, where they basically have 1 or 2 stores and only 1 troop. That'll be easy to make sure that they get their premium of their spots and stuff like that. Once the third round opens up and it's a free for all. But in some of our Treasure Valley areas where you might want to make sure you do get that Walmart. You'll want to make sure you grab it in one of these 2 time frames. So our third round then opens on January 25th at 7 p.m. Closes on March 16th at 7 p.m. I'm not sure why you would need to book a booth after 7 p.m. on the 16th. That's the final day of everything. But there you have it. They close at 7. And according to this, there's a max of 99 reservations, but I was pretty sure it was 999. So I'll have to double check that and make sure that I have 3 9s in that bit of information. Because once you get to this final reservation, you could have 200, 300 booths, and it should be fine. If for whatever reason you do hit that max, let us know. And if you need more booths than that, we can make sure that we get in there for you. Okay, so Next part here, so here's my troop contact information. This is my primary troop company manager. I am the assistant troop company manager from here. So it's just on council troop. And so if I, were to book any reservations in here, it will get an email saying, hey, book your cookie booth. So again, like I said, Albertson's in right up here first. So we can use the search feature and say I want to search by zip code. So I'm going to put in 3. Council zip code. And I have a whole bunch of ones come up that are all within the 83709 zip code. I can also look it up by city. So if I wanted to find all the booths in Pocatello, all of them will pop up there. Now, it will only pop up ones that are in the city of Pocatello. If I also wanted to find them in the city of Chubbuck, which is right next door, I would have to search that separately. However, I can use my filters here by zip code. And if I happen to remember what that zip code is, I don't know. I'm guessing. Oh my gosh, we already good. Just one. Now all those green little dots, those are all booths that I could pick within the filter of 100 miles of my zip code. So that, if I zoom out there, zoom out on the map, you can see I can see everything in the Pocatello area, you can see everything north, and because my search range is search. But now my booths in Chubbuck show up, and you can see Pocatello show up, and I can search, and then all of these, once you highlight over them, will illuminate on the map so that you can see where they are. Now, if you notice here, my Fred Meyer and has 2 different doorways. This is a request by the Pocatello Service Unit to keep a couple of their locations that do allow for multiple doors separate. So if you wanted the Fred Meyer and Pocatello, you would have to pick which door you wanted, and there could potentially be a different troop at each booth. But that is something that they wanted us to hang on to. Also, a lot of our Walmarts, the Walmart supercenters will allow a cookie booth to be at each door. So they can be one at the grocery door and one at the pharmacy door. However, if you have a location where that is an option, and it's basically only Walmart's and this Fred Meyer, they have to be fully staffed cookie booths. So that means that you can either have a troop booth that has 2 unrelated adults and a minimum of 2 Girl Scouts. Then you'd also need to have, or you could have a mom and me booth where you could have a parent or approved adult and their Girl Scout, potentially her Girl Scout sister. Any siblings that are at a mom and me booth also have to be registered Girl Scouts. Means little brother can't tag along to the cookie booth. And siblings can attend a mom and me booth together. So the mom doesn't have to worry about getting a babysitter for little sister while she takes big sister out to her cookie booth. The 2 sisters can do it together, whether they're in the same troop or not. they can do that. I got sidetracked. Another important thing as we're looking at these booths is the word unconfirmed after the booth. What unconfirmed means is just that since it is a council secure booth, we at council do call every single booth partner and we confirm that yes, Girl Scouts can be there for a cookie booth. We are still in the process of making those phone calls. So a lot of the booths right now will say unconfirmed. However, this is a partner that has worked with us in the past, and we are relatively confident that they will say yes again this year. My favorite answer that I get when I call these people is, oh, absolutely, anything for Girl Scouts, whatever you need. My favorite answer that they give me. Occasionally, there will be a do not contact listed in parentheses after a store name. If it says do not contact, if this is a store that is not participating in the cookie program, they will not have a booth there. There will never be a time listed for girls to be at that location. And it also means that as a troop leader, cookie manager, or even parents, do not reach out to that location to try to secure a cookie booth. That are in there, and they're both like corporate wide, so troops shouldn't be going up to them anyway to ask for a booth. But just in case, we do put that do not contact on there if we know that there's a partner who does not want to participate. So I'm going to click into my booth. So I have picked my Lowe's over here. So from there, I can see that I've got blue days. I got the 21st, 22nd, 28th, 23rd. I don't know why I did that out of numerical order. But I'm going to go and we'll just put on 28th here. And I can see that I have appointments available from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. in 3-hour time frames at this location. Why do I have a 9 to 12 or a 12 to 3 on a Friday during school? We do have some Girl Scouts who are homeschooled, and they do like having a cookie booth at noon or 9 or something like that on a Friday. So the stores do say, during our open hours. So we do provide sometimes for students who either may have Friday where they don't go to school, or they are homeschooled and they can do a booth during normal school hours on a Friday. So we do have that listed on there that is offered. And if I were in an open time frame to select booths, these would be blue since nobody has taken those time frames. If I go in here and the only one that is blue is from 6 to 9, that means that another troop has taken the first 3, they are unavailable, and this is the only one left. So once I've picked my date, picked my time, I will click save, and then it will show up in my troop reservation section. But since I don't have that, I can also, if I wanted to, filter by date, and you can pick multiple dates. So if I'm looking for, one of my moms has asked for a mom and booth, and they only want to do a Saturday. So I could go in here and I could filter it, and I could click on all my Saturdays. No. Okay, I can click on a single date. I thought you could multi-click, my bad. So I can click on a date and I can find out that, okay, this location here is available on the 8th, and it'll also show up over here. So all of my available with that date will be here. I can also filter it by time and say I want something 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. 5, and that will also leave my store available since 6 to 9 is available. So I can filter it by time, or I can filter it by date, and then by zip code. And also filter it by type, but since we really only do the first come, first serve, this one is kind of a moot point. However, some councils do offer both a lottery and a first come, first serve, so it's relative for them, just not for us. So let's take a look at that My Reservations page. So right now there are no reservations because it's closed. But should they show up in here, this is where you'll find them. Right in here, I'm going to go show booking a troop secured booth. So we're going to come in here and we are going to, I use this in another example, say we are going to have a cookie booth at Mom and Pop Coffee Shop. They are on 123 Main Street. Where is he? Because I know the zip code. And it's going to put my contact information in here as whoever is booking the troop secured booth. And then I can add contact information in here if I want to add my location contact. I'm going to turn it off just because it's not going to accept the phone number. And then down here, there's the option for allowing council to assign booths other than what the troop wants, or in any appointments that the troop cannot attend to other troops. So if we click that, then any other appointment types would become available for another troop, should we not be able to do them. Let's click next. So then we're going to add our appointment types. This is going to be, so I'm going to say June 30th, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. And now that's going to show us pending. And then I can go in here and I can add another appointment time. So say they also will let us do the 31st from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Save it. And we'll add one more for funsies. So we can do 15. Save 60. So this is Sunday. Well, Sunday they have shortened hours and they are there from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. All right. So now that I've put in all the potential hours that this place could have, I am going to click save. And an error has occurred. Oh, because I tried to put this place in before. But they show up in my troop reservations, which is what I really so I can show you. Now I have a giant screen that I'm projecting on, so I can see all of both the 3 dots on the side. Again, if for any reason that doesn't show up, if you hover over the bottom here, a gray slider will arrive and we can slide all the way to see these. So we're going to look here on the 31st and we're going to say, oh, my troop can't use that one anymore. I'm going to remove it. Delete that one forever. I'm going to spend it with it. Because this is a troop secure booth, it does say status pending. So I would need a council staff member to mark this as approved. Which I think we need council cooking staff member to mark them as approved. We do pop in there occasionally. If it's the day before your booth and your booth still says pending, please reach out and let us know. It's most likely that you're one of the first few and we're just not used to checking it yet. So please let us know, because once that does say approved, your booth will show up in your digital cookie. And that's a big important reason for making sure that these troop secured locations do end up in digital cookie. One, or in smart cookies. One, because that booth will be in digital cookie, And then when you take your credit card payments, you can connect that payment to the correct booth rather than having to connect it to your Girl Scout. It helps keep some of the booth reconciliation later on a little bit easier for your troop cookie managers. Also, very important, it shows up on the National Cookie Finder. So this is GSUSA's National Cookie Finder. It is a national page. Most councils will also have a link to the Cookie Finder on their pages. This allows a customer to type in their zip code and find cookie booths near them. So let's put in council's zip code then. And it's not showing any booths, just because there are no booths currently in the area. However, I go in here and I update this and put in my parents' address. Different where cookie booths are happening. I can see that there are cookie booths listed. And I can go in here and say I want to see luau coffee. I can see that there is a booth at Luau Coffee. That is 3 miles from the zip code I entered. It is going to be on Sunday, February 16th, from 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock. There will be a troop at the coffee shop, and I can go in and I can grab an afternoon coffee and some Girl Scout cookies. So this booth finder we provide to the community. So they hear it on the radio. They might hear it in a little blurb in a TV broadcast. They could see it on a billboard. They might see it in a digital ad. GSUSA does, advertising as well for cookie season. There's a whole bunch of news articles that just went out last week about the s'mores and toasties retiring. But in those articles, there's a link to the cookie finder so that you can find Girl Scout cookies when you're out and about. So this is a resource that our customers use. And if your booth is not in Smart Cookies, it doesn't show up in the cookie finder. If your Girl Scouts are able to attend a booth for whatever reason, say they're all sick in bed with the flu, if you don't release your cookie booth in Smart Cookies, cookie customers are still going to think your girls are there. They don't know that your girls are sick. They just know that the cookie finder told them cookies are going to be at the coffee shop from 12 to 2 on Sunday. And they want their coffee and their cookies. And if you don't release the booth, they're not going to know it. Smart Cookies isn't going to know it. So please remove your booths if you're not going to be able to attend. It's also a personal pet peeve of mine. I can't tell you how many times I've used the cookie finder to go to a booth only to have no Girl Scouts at that location. Or my daughter will get slightly peeved if we go and she had wanted to do a booth that night at that location, but it was booked. And we get to that store and there's no Girl Scouts. We do have girls in the council who do have big goals and will accept a booth at the last minute. So say it's 5 o'clock and your troop has said, oh, we can't make it, we're running behind, we're sick, whatever reason. And they're not going to make that booth anymore. Maybe one of your adults had to drop out at the last minute, so now you don't have 2 adults to do it. And the one adult doesn't want to make it a mom and me. Remove the booth, and it allows for another girl who might be able to do that to take that spot, to fulfill those customer wishes, and maybe increase the amount so that she can get to her goal. We've said it before, and I will say it again till I'm blue in the face. the cookie program is not a competition. Yes, we have girls with big goals that want to do these booths and things like that, but it's not a contest. Nobody wins or loses because they sell a different amount of cookies. When we, as a Girl Scout Council, sell cookies, all Girl Scouts end up winning because those proceeds from cookies help pay for programming that we can put on. They pay for badge workshops, for camp staff, so that we can offer you these training videos. That's also funded by the cookie program. So please, if you're not going to attend a booth, please remove it. Personal rant over. We all want to make sure that our girls can get to their goals, and we want to be fair, we want to be honest and respectful of other people's time and energy. And if we're not able to attend that booth and someone else is, it's not respectful for us to hang on to it when we could release it and should release it so that it can be taken by someone else, and so that our cookie customers can make sure that they know where they can find their cookies. Okay. I want to remove overviews. Oops. All right, so now I have no more trip reservations for a business that doesn't exist. Oops. Oh, a couple of things. One, there will be a Q&A on how to use the booth reservation system on Tuesday from 6 to 7. I will put the Zoom link in the comments of the video, mostly because I don't have the link yet. And also, during the fall product program, we did a little incentive for girls to sell a certain number of products and send some emails and go into the system and create their avatars. And if they did those things, their troops were entered into a drawing for a early booth slot. So on Monday, I will send out all of that information to our early booth winners, and they've already been contacted to say that you have earned this spot or you've won this spot, and so they know to be looking for this. And I will send that out Monday, so it tells them like how they can what information I need from them, how they can, select those spaces, and how it will affect their troop reservations on the 19th and the 22nd. And all the answer to that is it doesn't. So all of that will come out in an email Monday. This link will be in the comments for the Q&A on Tuesday. And I hope you all have a lovely rest of your Friday and weekend. We will see you Tuesday. How do I stop sharing?